Short people might, like me, might prefer to have a couple of bricks under your feet, and it means you can sit back, as I do, otherwise I'm dangling. I also tried a mat under this to stop it sliding, but actually it slides more on the mat than it does like this, so this is fine. Check nobody else coming in now. Okay. So rather than a breath practice this morning, we're thinking about Asmita, which is ego. We've all got a little bit of ego that works in us, and my title today was how many I's in the room. So when are you an I and when are you a you? Sorry, I'll just as we get ready here. Good morning, everybody. Okay, right, I think you're all muted. We're starting with a mantra. So the idea of the mantra was just to remind us what a small speck we are in a big world, and that for everybody there is a circle in life, and therefore, you know, although we think we're an I, we're actually part of a big collective that's rolled on for centuries. So our mantra this morning would be Sa Ta Na Ma, which we've done before. One translation of that is birth, life, death, rebirth. So that's the cycle. Or the option is to think of it as beginning, existence, transformation, and regeneration. So Sa Ta Na Ma. I like to do the birth, life, death, rebirth in my head, but you can use the Sanskrit. So the idea is just to breathe and say that to yourself in a sort of rhythmic motion. And I like to use my fingers to count at the same time. So as I said, Sa, my index finger will go down on my leg, and then my ring, middle, and then my ring, and then my pinky. So the 4 fingers with each word. So close your eyes. Find that posture while you're seated. Remember your sit bones act here like your feet. It's quite good to use the back of the chair to draw your tummy towards, to support the lower back. You can feel the lower back getting engaged as well then more. And then think about your shoulder blades and draw them back towards the chair so that you feel that opening across your collarbone. Hands on thighs, just shoulders softened away from the ears. And then think about tucking that little hyoid bone under your tongue, that tucks your chin back and up slightly so that you open up this few vertebrae that we have running up into the skull. And then just let your breath work with you. Don't worry about controlling it as well this morning. It will go with the mantra. So when you're ready, start to take on your Sa, Ta, Na, Ma, or birth, life, death, rebirth, or beginning, experience, transformation, and regeneration, but that's a bit of a mouthful. So quite nice to use the Sanskrit, because you don't have to think too much about what you're saying. And as you say it, use your fingers just to count with each word. So you might want to work on one hand and then the other. The mantras are part of one of the ways Kriya Yoga can work. Kriya Yoga is not quite the same as Hatha. It's a little bit more meditative, but it's also action yoga, they call it. So it's a bit confusing. We still use the poses, but Hatha Yoga tends to just be the asanas that we do. We do a little bit more Kriya Yoga because we do Pranayama, and in the odd occasion mantras and mudras are involved in Kriya Yoga. It's really about awareness of self, Kriya Yoga, really becoming aware of self so that you can change these 5 kleshas that we're talking about, so that you can be aware of when they're acting on you, and when you can change them up for your own good and other people's. So everybody's different. We're not all got the same type of ego, but it will take different forms, but it comes from the same source. Ego attaches a opinion and makes judgments. And sometimes if you separate it from self, it becomes something that you are more aware of and then feel you can tackle it. So one question here, just as you continue for a couple of more mantra sessions, when we stop after your next ma, ask yourself, how does your ego feel about chair yoga? What opinion, in other words, has the ego attached to chair yoga? Maybe you quite like the idea, that's fine. But it's giving you an opinion. And it may also be that you tend to think chair yoga is not active enough for me. I'm too young for that. It's for old people. Well, it's not necessarily. But dumbing down that ego is kind of the point of things here. So let go of the mantra, finish your mantra on a rebirth, ma. Mantras also bring us into the room, the same as our breath practice. And just take a few shoulder circles, head tilts, ankle circles, just as you feel you need them. My shoulders really feel they need it this morning. But it might be that you want to stretch your feet out and have a little circle through your ankles. By that click, my ankles needed it too. Might can do both at once. Get everything going at once. That's a bit more of a challenge. And then think of just tilting your head gently from side to side, using the support at the back of the chair just to keep your alignment. And also to give you a little bit more support for the weight of that head as it goes over. Don't go too far, just take it gently. Maybe you want to stop on one side and just have a little bit of a stretch through the side of your neck. Same time, maybe take your left leg out and point and flex that foot. And then take your foot down, take your head up gently to middle, take your left ear over to the side. Take your right foot out, point and flex. Bring the head back up carefully, bring the foot back down. Take the head over to the right one more time. And then take your left hand off your thigh and put it down the side of the chair. So your right hand's still on the thighs, a bit of support, but take your left hand down and let your shoulder drop. So you're over to the right with your head, but your left shoulder's dropping down and stretching out that side of your neck a little bit more. If you want to at the same time, you want to multitask, take the right foot out and have a little circle or a point flex again. And then bring everything back to neutral, take it to the other side, take it gently, watch that neck. So left ear in my case goes over to the left side. I take my right arm down and let it just hang down. The weight of it pulling down will take your shoulder down and stretch it out a little bit more through to your neck. Same time, if you want to take the left foot away and do some point flexes or circles. Just slowly opening up a few different areas of the body at once. And then put the foot down, gently bring the head back up, bring both hands back in front of you now. Let's take our arms, parallel hands, and take them above our heads, above our shoulders. So lifting up, push through gently through your sit bones and lift up through the crown and take your shoulders down away from your ears. Exhale, take the hands down. So try and just move through the shoulders here, not anything else is moving. Inhale up. Hands are shoulder distance apart and you can feel kind of energy there between your two palms, as if you were forcing an unseen beach ball between them. So try and see if you can feel that imaginary beach ball now as you kind of gently press in, drawing your shoulders in towards each other at the same time, and then release the hands down. Pop your hands onto your thighs. We're going to take cat-cow in this position, so do draw your tummies in to support you. Inhale tall through from the sit bones. Exhale, tuck the tummy, tuck the chin, and just roll forward using the hands as supporting your thighs. Roll just the way you're comfortable. You might not go too far. You might get your nose down to your tummy. Inhale, roll up. So from the sit bones, really push into the sit bones, draw the tummy in and roll up into your cow back. So take the shoulder blades back towards each other, back towards the back of the chair. Got a space now between you and the back of the chair. Rolling forward then back into cat. And you might feel your lower back come back and connect with the back of the chair there as you do this. So it's exhaling into cat, inhaling into cow. Really take it slowly, as if you're moving through treacle. Take one more, really slowly. Extend your breath as much as you can and really feel your spine moving one vertebrae at a time. Pushing gently into the sit bones to find that rebound, to open the front of the spine as you roll into cow. Opening even up through the throat if you can, without throwing your head back too far, and come back to neutral. And then we're going to take forward fold in this position. So it might sound easy, the ego may have told you such, but take it easy because it's not as easy as the ego is telling you. So walk your hands forward to your knees. Find that tummy, lift it up to support your lower back. Roll your shoulders up into a kind of cat shape. Don't worry about the breath at this point. You can stay here then and just take your elbows out, maybe, and spread across the shoulders, using the hands as support. Or if you want to try and go a little bit further, you can just gently move forward, letting the head come down towards the knees. Keep the hands on the knees as support. Don't let go of that. And draw down to where you feel a nice open stretch along your lower back. And hold and breathe. Hopefully you're breathing. So lift the tummy up a little bit more to support the lower back wherever you are. And feel the weight of your torso. Feel the weight pouring down into your feet. So it sounds like it should be something very easy to do, and the ego probably told you that. You may well have thrown yourself far forward if we hadn't taken it slowly. That's how the ego can be dangerous, particularly in yoga. So lift the tummy up now to start supporting the lower back. Use the hands to roll back up and really move slowly. Don't give your body a shock. As I say, the ego is the thing that moves you too quickly in these positions. Take it easy. You've had your head down. Just take a moment, as we do in Uttanasana, to recover and restore from the head being down lower. I'm going to take a little flow now in the chair. So we'll take the cat-cow into it as well here. But we might take a bigger cat-cow towards the end as well, where we'll extend the arms and keep the arms extended as we go into cat. Sorry. Okay, so inhale, take the arms up above the head. Take it really slowly. Think of that treacle, think of the beach ball. Try and keep the shoulders at the right distance apart. Roll forward now into cat. So take the tummy in, lift it up, tuck it under your ribs, use it to support you. Take your hands down gently to your knees, place them on your knees, and then roll into cow. So if you're going on the breath, you'll be inhaling now. And then exhale back into neutral. Take your right hand up. Right hand up. And then just let it float down to the other side of your left leg. So you're just putting in a little bit of a twist, not a huge one, just taking the arm down first of all. Inhale it back up. Exhale it back down. Left arm up. Maybe closing your eyes makes you go a little bit slower. Focus on what you're doing. So it's just a little twist through the waist here as the arm comes down and the back of the left hand touches the back outside of the right thigh. Inhale it back up. Exhale the arm down. Take the arms overhead again, so inhale the arms up. I'm going to roll forward this time, tucking the tummy, tucking the chin, and coming down towards Uttanasana. So you might want to roll down, put your hands on your knees, and then roll further forward into forward fold. And then gently press into your hands and stretch the body out as if you were doing half fold. So you've got your tailbones feel like they're going backwards, your crown's going forward. You're not lifted very far off your thighs. And then roll back down into Uttanasana. Take one more of those. So you're not straightening your arms, they're still bent, you're just lengthening through from your crown and opening up the front of your spine from Uttanasana. Still got the belly quite close to the thighs, lift it off it. And take yourself back into Uttanasana, rolling up, which is really just a big version of cat, if you think of it. Push gently into the hands. Take your time, look along the floor, rolling back up into neutral. Take the hands up above the head again. And take them back down. This time we're going to take them above the head and go into a little bit of a back bend. So think of that beach ball. Try and keep them exactly above your shoulders. Rolling open from the sit bones. Lift out of your pelvis. Little bit of a pelvic tilt, but don't throw your tummy forward. And then roll back down into neutral. Let the hands come back down. Taking a slightly bigger twist this time. So inhale the right arm up. Take the left arm and take it a little bit further back on the chair. Use it to support you as you roll round and take the twist a little bit further, bringing the hand down to the outside of your left leg. Inhale that arm back up. Exhale down. Same thing other side. So take the right arm behind you just to hold onto the chair. Use it as a little bit of a lever. Left arm comes up. You're rotating to your right and using that right arm just to pull you a little bit further round if you can. Don't go too far, don't push it, don't let the ego take over. Let that left arm come down. Take the arms up one more time. A little bit of a back bend if you want to, and then take them down, place them on your knees. Arms extended this time. Push into your hands, tuck your tummy, tuck your chin. If you're off the breath, don't worry. We're rolling up into cow, but a cat rise, sorry. And it's a really high cat back. Your extended arms will mean that you can't go too far. And then roll through into cow. Arms nice and straight and long, pushing gently through the thighs with the hands as you roll the heart forward between the shoulders into cow. Take that again. So it's a really upper body movement, this one. And your brain or your ego might be telling you, soften your elbows, but please don't. Try and keep the movement just in the upper body. Back into cow. Release back into neutral. Take your right arm now, take it up above your head, rotate with it, and take it down over the back of the chair if you can. So you're into a twist already here. My chair's a little bit high for me here, but we've got the right armpit kind of over the top of the chair. So you're already in a twist. Take your left arm now, pop it onto your outside again of your right thigh, but this time with the palm facing it. Press into both sit bones, lift up through the crown, and then just allow yourself to rotate a little bit further to the right. Maybe your nose is allowed to go this time. Nose is part of the ego always. Hold wherever you get to. Think of that back shoulder, so my left shoulder, the one that's not over the chair. Pull it backwards onto the back of your body. So open up the front of that collarbone. Use your sit bones to lift out of and lift up through your crown. We're just breathing here, I hope you've realised. And then to come out of this, don't sink. Keep that nice length in your spine and just gently allow yourself to rotate out of it. Softening and taking that arm off the back of the chair. At any point you need to do shoulder rolls or anything, please do. Take that on the other side. So we're inhaling, finding that length, taking the arm over the back of the chair on the other side. Don't need to use the breath here if you've gone off the breath. The other hand is going over and the palm of the hand now is on the outside edge of the other leg. So inhale tall, use the sit bones, use both sit bones, engage your glutes. And then when you feel that length in your spine, allow yourself just to put a little bit more of a twist in. You won't go much further, but your head will feel you have. So let that nose go and look over your shoulder. let the ego go and feel, whoa, I'm doing really well here, because that's what the nose is doing. It always wants to go ahead and do the best. So keep that length now, pushing through your sit bones, lift up through the crown, lift up through the belly, and then allow your body to rotate gently back to the front, taking the arm off the back of the chair. And come back into neutral. Close your eyes and just see if you can feel any difference in your torso from your sit bones upwards. Can you feel the difference? So chair yoga does make a difference, is the point there. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of bigger poses in a chair position. You'll need your bricks again in a minute, but I'm moving mine and moving onto the front edge of my seat for the first two, so that my feet are now on the floor. We're going to come up and down into chair pose from chair. So to do this, I put my feet a little bit further behind me to start, because if you try to do it that way, you might find it's a bit awkward. But feel that you've got the stability through your feet to work through your knees. They might not be directly ankles over knees here. They might be just slightly, the ankles might be slightly behind your knees. Make sure they feel strong. Keep your legs at hip distance. Draw the tummy in. Find your hip hinges. Fold gently forward over your hip hinges with a nice long front body. You'll already feel it's lightened off the base of your chair. Hands can be in waist for the first one, just so that we get this balance, and then you'll find your feet in the right position once you've done it once. So now that your weight's changed over the top of your thighs, do your feet need to move before you start to press into them to come up? Do you feel that you've got that connection? Move your feet until you do. Draw the tummy in, find that long length in the front of the body, and then press into the feet and lift up, but just into chair, not completely up. So hold. You should still have that nice long front body. Bottom might feel it sticking out a bit, so tuck it under, drawing your tummy in. Hands are on waist, and then we're going to sit back down. So you might need to want to put your hands behind you just to catch where the chair is, and then sit down. Muscle memory might work the next time without putting your hands behind you, but do be aware, we don't want you skidding off. Okay, we'll take a couple of those, either with hands on waist, or you can take your arms up with you, or you can put them into Anjali Mudra, wherever you feel you'll get the best benefit. Thing to think of is keeping this long front body. So move your weight over your legs and then push gently into your feet. Keep that bottom tucked under and long front body. And we're in chair. Sit back down, take a couple more of those. So carefully find that chair. See if you can do it without the hands behind you. One more time, inhaling, pushing through the feet, lifting up. I become really aware when I do that from a chair that my knees fold together as I try to stand up. So it's something to watch your body with, these sort of movements. Inhale, push into your feet, lift up one more time, hold, breathe. If you want to then take your hands above your head and hold and breathe. Find that beach ball, move your shoulders back onto the back of your body, draw your tummies in. Look at your knees, what are they doing? Are they folding in like mine? So do you really need to open up as if you've got a brick between your knees? Or maybe they're tracking out the way and you need to draw them in. It'll be to do with your hips, that it's not to do particularly with anything else, but you just need to be aware so that you can strengthen your knees. Okay, we're going to sit back down now, carefully back onto the chair. Take the feet out then, and we're going to turn the feet out as if you're going into goddess. We're not coming off the chair this time though, but your feet sitting here, you might find you can turn them a little bit wider than you would normally be able to do in goddess, because your hips are obviously slightly further back than they would normally be. I'm right on the edge of my chair here, so do watch it doesn't tip again. So here you can look down and make sure that your knee-ankle connection's there. And I can turn my feet right out in this position. Might not be for everybody, but you find you can turn them slightly more. We're not going to use the feet, we're still using the sit bones. So push your weight gently into the sit bones, draw your tummy in, and think of squeezing then the inner thighs as if you were drawing them back towards each other. So your glutes will get engaged, in other words. And the inner thighs are nice and open. And then let's take our arms into our goddess arms, into our cactus arms. So how do you feel there? Is the ego saying, wow, this is good? Well, let's switch on the tummy. Draw the shoulders a little bit closer together. Open the heart a little bit more. Take the back of the hands backwards towards the back of the wall. Draw the chin in, find that long back and neck, and maybe lift your elbows slightly so they're really at shoulder height. Now your ego can switch on. Now you're much more in alignment. And breathe. And then we're going to take a little twist here. So inhale tall through from the sit bones and just gently rotate to the right. Feeling that movement go right down through. The twist mainly in the upper body, but you'll feel it move into your knees and feet. So keep those inner thighs open. If you go too far, your other knee will collapse forward. And then bring yourself back to the front. If you're on the breath, just breathe. It's hard to keep the breath going when I'm talking. Inhale tall again and twist gently to the other side. So feel that pressure moving through down to your feet. What can you do to adjust and make sure that there's safety? It's a safe movement through your knees, sorry. And then come back to the front again. Pop your hands to your knees now. And let's take that one more time, the twist. So inhale tall, find that roll through, lift up out your pelvis. And then exhale, just allow a little twist round to your right. Keep your hands on your knees, you won't can go quite so far maybe. Stop and breathe. So what's your ego telling you here? Is it that your nose is wanting to go ahead of itself again? That's the ego. So does the ego think this isn't big enough? Okay, so now press through your feet instead of your sit bones. Squeeze your glutes to open your thighs a little bit more. Take your right shoulder back and then take your left shoulder back a little bit. So you've twisted a bit more, but your left shoulder is going back onto the back of your body. And then bring your nose back to over your sternum. Don't let it look over your shoulder, in other words. And then see how far you've gone. The ego will say, wow, that's not enough. See what the nose was doing? Inhale, release, come back to the front. So same thing, other side. Gently into the sit bones, lift out the spine first of all. Rotate to the other side this time. Watch that back shoulder. It's coming round with the nose. It's the ego too. It's trying to take you further without actually moving. So when you're there, find your feet, find your glutes, lift up. Take your nose back over your sternum, but let the left shoulder go back a little bit if it can, and then open up the right shoulder, take it back onto the back of the body. So there's very little twist if you look at what you're doing here, but there's a lot going on. Just because the ego wants to do the flashy things doesn't mean to say that the smaller things aren't just as beneficial. Rotate yourself gently back to the front and release. Bring the feet now in front of you. I like to use my bricks here actually, because I'm going to sit back a little bit more in the chair. But we're going to take the feet wide now again, but make them face forward this time or slightly inward. We're doing a forward fold, a wide leg forward fold. Excuse me. So I like to feel, make sure you feel the support of the chair kind of halfway down your thighs almost, so that you're really supported here as you fold forward. If you're too far forward, you put a lot of strain on your back. So again, ankles under knees, legs are wider, draw in, draw up, lift out, find your hip hinges here now. Think of that long front body and pop your hands back onto your thighs just to support you. And then think of the string through the crown, drawing you forward as you forward fold into a wide leg forward fold. Your elbows will soften, but you've still got that support of your hands through your legs. When you get as far as you're comfortable going, then stop and breathe. Lift out through your crown. Feel your sit bones then widen and move backwards on the chair. Feel that spread across your lower back. So to support it, lift your tummy up a little bit more. Draw your heart slightly forward and your shoulders down your back. Tuck your chin and lift your head up a little bit. You might then realize you haven't gone quite as far forward as you thought you had. You've gone more into Uttanasana than a wide leg forward fold. So this is an active fold, so lengthen the front of the body. And then see if with that long body, you can just let gravity take you forward a little bit more, but keep that length as you do so. And you feel that widening through your hips, through your glutes, through your top of your hamstring. Don't go too far. Don't let the ego take over. Breathe. And then to come out of this, make sure the tummy's switched on. Use the hands to support you. Keep that long front body feeling. Just gently rolling back over the back of the hips to come back up to sitting. Seated, 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 seated. Okay. Okay, so bring the bricks in front of you closer together. Now we're going to need just one under your right foot to start. So make sure you've got that hip alignment to knee and knee alignment to ankle with the right foot there. And then we're going to take our left leg and bring it up and fold it over into a figure of 4. Now, that might not be for everybody. If it's not, you can cross your legs. But if you can come into the figure of 4 with your soft tissue bit just above your ankle over the bit just above your knee, and find figure of 4. So once you're in that, find your sit bones, lift out of them. And you can either just sit here and watch what happens in your left hip, or if you want to, you can come into arms as well. So you can take your arms out in front of you, take your left arm under your right arm under your left rather, and just lift it up. Sorry, it's not eagle arms, it's just to open up the back of your left shoulder. So it's that figure of 4 again on the top part. So if you look at me, you can see I've kicked off to one side. What I need to do now is draw up through my right side so that I can feel that alignment from my right foot going right up through to my right shoulder. So I've got that nice, long, strong right side body. And you might just can feel what's happening in your right shoulder, left shoulder, sorry, and your left hip. Big opening. But you've got a lot of support here, so it's a lot easier than when you're standing up, obviously. So think about what's happening with your spine here. Draw up out of your pelvis, lift your tummy up out of the pelvis. Find that long, strong spine. And then release the arms, have a little stretch out with them. Let them go backwards, open them up, and then release them down to the side. Uncross the legs, recross to the other side. Take the same position. If you're just crossing your legs, you'll still get an opening in the hips. It just won't be quite as big, but you'll still be getting some benefit of opening the hips, and it'll be quite nice and gentle. So watch that the ego doesn't try to make you do a level above what you really should be doing and what you really need to be doing. Take the arms out, cross the arms the other way this time, so not that way, and make your figure of 4. So your palm in your long arm, in your straight arm, is facing backwards. Again, alignment. Think of taking that top, the long arm shoulder, so in my case, my right one, the one that's not folded, take it back a little bit, because I've gone into a twist, if you look. So I need to draw that top shoulder back so that it's facing forwards again. And then I need to think about that side body alignment. So I need to press into my left foot and lift myself back over it so that my shoulders now feel in line with my knees and my hips. And then see if you can just lift your left arm up a little bit higher, and that will open up your shoulder a little bit more. See if you can just drop that right knee a little bit more. And then release, open up. Undo the legs. So we can sit back right on the back of your chair here. We'll have a bit of a stretch out here. This, I maybe should have said to everybody to have a strap here, but you can use your hands on your calves if you can't quite reach. Otherwise, bring your right foot up. And see if you can take your left hand then, and pop it round your big toe. So you've got your index and middle finger round your big toe. If you can't quite do that, hold on to your shins or your ankle even. We're just going to try big toe pose. So find the sit bones then, lengthen up through the body. Use your other hand if you need to support you in the chair. If not, just stretch that foot out in front of you if you can to wherever you're comfy. Your knee might still be bent, or maybe you can open up the back of the leg a bit more, open up the sole of the foot, flex the foot towards you. Gone into a bit of twist this way. If that's too strong, you can change hands and go into the same arm as your leg and let that stretch. That'll give you a nice big stretch then through the back of the shoulder. The other one will give you a bit of a twist. Just opening the back of that leg up. So again, the ego would say that you're sitting in a chair, but actually some of you can do this sitting in a chair that probably would struggle if we did it standing up. Or you can do it in a better fashion. So don't let the ego think that we all need to be on Instagram in yoga. So draw the other leg up when you're ready and take either twisted would be your opposite arm, or the same hand would be your normal big toe pose. And just open the leg up as much as feels comfortable. It might still be quite bent, but if it is, try and open up the sole of the foot towards the wall in front of you. And then think about that alignment of the spine again. So draw the tummy in, draw the shoulders back. Find that long body. And then release. And then we're going to take Janu Sirsasana modified. So no, that's not Janu. I don't know, I've called it the wrong thing here. Never mind. What we're doing is we're sitting right in the back of the chair. You'll need your block still under your left foot. You take your right leg up and pop it as if we were doing the Janu Sirsasana, isn't it? We take our right foot and put the inside of the sole of the foot to the inside of the left thumb. So again, that might be a bit strong for you. If it is, find an adaptation. So you might can do what we did a minute ago. You might, what was the other option I thought of? So we're trying to open the inner thigh. It might be that you have to just cross your legs and open it out slightly. So wherever you find your leg, what we're thinking then is finding that long front body. We're sitting right back on the chair, so you've got lots of support under your thighs. And then we're just gently folding forward over the left leg here. So you're moving your head, your crown, forward over your left knee. So it's long body feeling still. Don't go too far. Use the chair to support you through your hands. And the idea here is we're just opening up a slightly different area of that right hip again. So it's quite a big movement. Do use the chair therefore to support you when you do this sort of thing. It's not quite as strong as sitting on the floor with your left leg out in front of you. Everybody think about lifting their tummy up. I just remembered mine wasn't. And then maybe you can fold slightly further forward. Again, you can use this as a yin pose. You could just start quite high and slowly gravity will take you downwards and work deeper into that tissue around your right joint. So then gently bring yourself up. Undo legs. Find the position you want to go to with the other leg. Might be different on this side. It might be that your left side's different from your right. You might be better cross-legged and just folding forward. If you do that, you'll still get this reaction through your hip. It's just not quite as strong and in a slightly different part of the hip, but you'll still be doing your hip good and you'll be flushing out toxins. So that's a good thing to do. So inhale tall, find that long front body. Use your hands to support you. Move forward over the legs, which are sitting right back on the chair. Find where you want to stop, where you feel, right, I've gone far enough. And then draw the tummy in to support you a little bit more. See if you can slowly find gravity taking you a little bit further. Don't go too far, but you'll start to feel an edge as to where you've gone is enough. Stop there. Always stop at the edge. Listen to your body. It will then soften slightly and you will find you can move forward to your next edge. That's what yin does. This isn't quite yin because we've done a little bit of work, but the muscles won't be switched on that much to hold you back. So what's your ego saying as we sit here? Is your nose saying, come on, get a little bit lower. Come on, you can do this. Or is it saying, this is good, I'm doing great here? Well, if it's saying that one, just think of your alignment. Lift up through the crown, lift up through the heart. So we can always improve ourselves, even when the ego tells us that we're perfect. And much better than anyone else. So draw the tummy in, find yourself come back up to the top. Pop that foot down. You can have a little roll around your hips, sitting on the chair if you need to just release anything through your lower back or your hips. Go in the other direction, then roll through. And then last one we're going to take here is just eagle. So come forward a little bit more in your seat. Bring your right foot onto your brick. You might need 2 bricks even. I didn't actually say that, but you probably realised if you did. I'm going to just cross our legs, but really think about crossing the legs by squeezing the inner thighs. So lift the left leg up, squeeze the inner thighs together as you draw that left leg over. And then maybe you can tuck that leg. It doesn't really matter where that foot goes, but if you want to try and tuck it round behind, then please do. At the tucking point, we'll just bring that knee in, and that will squeeze your thighs a bit more. So if you can't tuck your foot, do think about drawing that knee up and over towards your right hip almost. Okay. And then we're going to take our arms out again to the side, have a nice big stretch behind us if you want to. And then it's eagle arms. So right elbow under left elbow, let the hands rotate towards each other, and then clasp the thumb of the left hand in my case. Oops, is that right? Yeah. With the right hand into eagle arms. Now, if you look at me, my alignment's not right. So I need to draw that knee up and I need to lift up. So think about how you're sitting. If you've fallen to one side, draw your side body back up together. Think about lifting your elbows a little bit higher. Think about drawing your skull backwards slightly to expand the back of your neck. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Feel that nice big space across the back of the shoulders. Arms start to get heavy, so just gently lift up through your elbows. Think of lifting them a little bit higher again. Find the breath again. And then release the hands, have a big stretch backwards with the back of the palms going backwards, back of the hand rather. And cross the legs, come to the other side. So, cross the legs the other way. Remember that squeezing of the inner thighs. Remember about drawing that left knee a little bit over so that your thighs squeeze together and you get that nice stretch then down the side of that leg. Open the arms out. Other elbow this time, so it's my left under my right. Not quite as easy, this one for me. And then rotate the hands. So do notice the difference in your body. Which side is stronger, which side's more flexible. Usually one is stronger, one is more flexible. So think about, close your eyes and just find your alignment. What's happening with your legs and your inner thighs? What's happening with your tummy and your sit bones? What's happening with your heart? Moving forward, shoulders moving back slightly. Lift those elbows a little bit more if you can. Draw the back of your skull backwards, tuck that chin, lift up through the crown, breathe. Satanama. You can use mantras rather than breath at any point as well. And then release the arms out. Undo the legs. Let the hands come down. So just have a roll through the shoulders. Maybe a little tip of the head or a semicircle just to release through. Have a little squeeze of your right glute. And then let it go with an ah. Then the left glute, squeeze, hold. And then let it go with a big ah. And then both glutes, including your inner organs. So see if you can lift your pelvic floor and lift it up through as well as squeezing your glutes. Lift up through the tummy muscles. Switch it all on. And then ah, and release it nice and slowly back down to the seat, to the support. So just to finish, we'll take a couple of breaths here. And I'm going to count and see if we can all try and breathe together to my count. So there's no eyes in the room then, it's just us as a collective. Pop the hands to heart center, find that nice heart to thumb movement and lift out your pelvis. And then beginning with an in-breath, I'm going to start to count. So when you're ready, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're taking a longer exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let go of the breath. Have you found the you in you today rather than the I? Don't let that ego fool you. Remember, there's no I in you, only a you. Thank you everybody for your practice. Namaste.